This is Patrick Roth, Senior Support Technician for E1 Business Solutions. Today we're going to look at extender real-time data sources. And the problem that the customer is having is that they had a number of extender windows, but can't find the most or all of the windows in Smart Connect in order to be able to create that real-time data source. So if we look at this Fabricam solution in my GP 2022 install, we can see we have quite a number of windows, plus more in these other ones. So we have plenty of extender windows. So perhaps we want to make a real-time data source of the SOP freight. Now, to refresh your memory, as you know, extender lets you define windows and put one or two rows, or excuse me, columns of up to 15 rows each of the data, and you can attach it to a window. So in this case, the idea of the real-time data source is the same as the real data source of the other types of CRM, BC, SQL, in that you'll need some kind of trigger. So in this case, it would be, since this is SQL based, it'll be a SQL trigger, although we'll count it as an extender real-time trigger, but it will in the end be a SQL database trigger. And then when the user then enters a new transaction, the real-time trigger would fire, the map would run, and then it would do whatever you need the map to do. So in this case, the window ID is called SOP_freight. If we go back to our data sources, then we take a look and we notice we already have one extender real-time data source created. It's on the customer dates window, which we did see in the other window. So if we make a new one, we're going to call it real time, and you're an extender real time, and we'll pick correct GP instance. Our Fabricam is a window, and if we click the drop list, we might be puzzled that we only see two. We have all those extender windows. Why don't we see it? We already have this extender customer dates one created. That's also not in the list, but that was explained because you can only have one real-time trigger per object. So in this case, we've already created that one. So Smart Connect has filtered that one out of our list. So how does Smart Connect know how to pull the data? How does it tie that together? What is it doing for us? When you click the enter type for the window, it runs a SQL statement looking for the windows, and then it's looking for views. So this is the query that it's running, and we notice it's running against my 222 database. It's looking at my extender windows, and then it's also finding all of the views in my 222 database. So here's the two that it showed, customer detail and vendor additional data, and then it also found customer dates. We can't see that, but it did. And then it filtered it out because it had already been created. So why do we care about the view? I mean, this is extender data. What difference does it make? Well, the reason why it looks at that is because the extender data is complicated. It's across multiple tables with key fields, key tables, multiple data types and joins. It's fairly complicated. So instead of putting all that logic and running it as a SQL query event, when it creates the view, it wraps all the logic of where the data comes from. So that way Smart Connect, when the trigger runs, it can run the query against the view, and it knows which record got created, or excuse me, got updated or created, and it then knows how to pull it from the database based on that record ID. So in this case, it would be the extended record ID, or it's possibly using the DEX row ID. I didn't check too closely at that, but that's the reason why it is. So in this case, if we wanted to create a view against SOP freight, what we need to do is a SOP_freight. So we need to create a new view, and I'll call it the same thing. And the key here is, even though it defaulted ext_SOP freight, can't do that. It's got to match exactly. And so if we add our extender window, sub freights, and we'll just mark them all. We'll press save. And since I'm SA, that all worked. If we go back to our SQL, it now shows SOP freight. Seems good. And if we switch to this, we see that it did include it. So if I wanted to, I could create it, and it just created that real-time data source. So I could create my map and link it and use it like anyway. But that's the reason why an extender window wouldn't show in the list, or as under form. It would be the same thing with the sender form, is because there's not a view with the exact same window ID or form ID, so that Smart Connect can use it in the query.